Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gershwin, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about the Horrible Reality series as we get into the Sorcerers of Tzeentch. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K content every single day, and if you have any suggestions for the Horrible Reality series, please comment down below. And of course, stay to the end of the video because we have a special giveaway for all you Tzeentch players. But with that said, let's get into the horrible realities of the Sorcerers of Tzeentch. Alone amongst the doomed souls in the clutches of the Chaos Gods, the most powerful of them can arguably be the Chaos Sorcerers under the temptation of Tzeentch. Unrestrained by concerns about corruption or morality, the Sorcerers of Tzeentch wield death, destruction, and mutation, the mightiest powers of the warp. But these incredible powers come with a terrible price. The horrible realities of becoming a Sorcerer of Tzeentch are as bountiful as the gifts the Lord of Change bestows on his victims. For every blessing Tzeentch places on a sorcerer, a terrible price must be paid. It starts off innocent enough, as mortal psychers, scholars, and other educated elites who desire great knowledge and power turn to the god of sorcery to advance their plots. Imperial planetary governors are often drawn into Tzeentch's web with the promise of political control. Even low-level workers find themselves tempted by the architect of fate, because in a society as repressive as the Imperium, it can be all too easy to give in to the blandishments of charismatic heretical preachers, who promise prosperity if one will just agree to follow a particular path toward enlightenment. It is in the heart of those with the strongest desire to prevail that Tzeentch whispers his insidious promise, offering a means of life eternal to those unwilling to accept death and oblivion is inevitable. Once success and progress begins to be made, the aspiring sorcerer quickly realizes that the path to his supposed enlightenment is much harder than he realized. Scrolls filled with arcane knowledge begin to eat away at his mind. Sorcerer's rituals meant to enhance and improve actually begin to mutate and alter the body. The horrible reality is that the majority of Tzeentch's followers become pawns to the father of lies, and he corrupts their bodies and minds, many ending up as nothing more than chaos spawn. For those students of Tzeentch that show incredible mastery of the sorcerous arts, the Changer of Ways opens even more paths to power, but the dangers never disappear. Blinded by progress, the novice sorcerer indulges in their ability to tear at the very fabric of reality itself. Sorcery is the truest gift of Tzeentch, and his foolhardy followers wield these powers like they would a gun or a sword, ignorant of the reality that all sorcery flows from the font of the immaterium. They use the energies of the warp as crackling blades and crushing blasts of force, and while their etheric blades are seldom countered by their foes, the weapons slowly begin to mutate the bearer's body. A sorcerer's hands are the first thing to change as they bend and twist, the bones inside their flesh responding to the mutating effects of the psychic energies. While at first their hands will only burn during the use of warp energies, eventually the fires of the immaterium will linger and the pain will be permanent. Etheric veins begin to appear on a sorcerer's body, each one moving and pulsating like squirming blue worms underneath the skin. Pockets of warp energy bubble up and their skin gets covered in boils. These are gifts from the Great Mutator, each one filled with his powerful exuberance. The lasting torment coming from these mutations ensures that each one of Tzeentch's disciples continues to explore the dark arts, for if their pursuit of knowledge stagnates, the ever-changing warp will rot their bodies. As sorcerers progress, they will develop the power to summon horrific entities from the warp, and at their call, demons will spill forth from the veil to tear horrified victims limb from limb. To mortal eyes, the different demonic legions of Tzeentch are impossible to distinguish, each one as bizarre as the next, but what they lack in resemblance, they make up for in deadliness. Whereas all the Neverborn are puppets to be manipulated by the god of evolution, and their appearance shows the approval of Tzeentch, these demons are not honor-bound to the sorcerer. Like wild animals, tired of their captor, any chaos demon can turn against his summoner. The terror of watching a whole pack of demons rip apart a former ally is truly a horror to behold. And betrayal from the chaotic denizens is not the only horrible reality a sorcerer should worry about, because once entered into ritual contract with Tzeentch, No mystic is safe from treachery. Sorcerers of Tzeentch must always be on guard for backstabbers and cutthroats. Each ally made is just a potential enemy down the road. Many a times, a sorcerer apprentice has poisoned a master. Teachers have sent their students to their inevitable death, and groups of friends have plotted against each other simply to best one another. Students, teachers, and even battle brothers are more than willing to murder one another in cold blood in the hopes of rising in the ranks. The respect of Tzeentch and the drive for knowledge is the only thing that matters in the endgame, and any plot or scheme to get further into this spot is justifiable in the eyes of the followers of the god of deception. The ever-expanding threat from everything that moves is often too much to bear for a sorcerer of Tzeentch, and the feeling of having to look over one's shoulder every single moment becomes mind-altering. Paranoia seeps into the heads of all the followers of Tzeentch. This condition turns into obsessiveness, as shadows get confused for assassins. Poison symptoms are felt when nothing was ingested. The feeling of being watched never goes away, and eventually, even the arcane lore that gave the sorcerer strength and power gets misinterpreted as hidden messages warning of an impending doom. Few followers of Tzeentch can escape this debilitating mental disorder. Those that possess the mental strength to continue will have a much more mind-bending obstacle ahead of them, as they become accustomed to the ever-changing nature of the warp. A sorcerer's perception of the contradictions of linear time and space becomes ever more apparent. Very few species in the galaxy evolve the biological brain able to exist in a nonlinear reality. The stresses of existing in a timeless, fleeting space stretches and grows the mind in otherworldly forms. Other dimensional geometric shapes come into existence all around the mystic. Etheric energies that have always been there are now visible to the sorcerer's naked eyes. But with this newfound vision, madness is a constant threat. The jump between the web of visible dimensions puts so much stress on the senses that sensory deprivation seems to be the only answer to the chaos. The sorcerer is blinded by the very glasses that were meant to help him see. As the sorcerer furthers his development, his powers draw the attention of Tzeentch, and the god of intrigue will appoint ever more leadership to any mystic that has been able to handle his many blessings. Whispering in his ear, the sorcerer will plot and scheme alongside his patron god. The multitude of secret plans unraveling before the sorcerer's eyes will begin to wane on the student of the Master of Fate. Many conspiracies will seem to contradict each other. At times, it will seem that his work is pointless or mundane. Plot after plot that seems to be organized simply for the purpose of scheming. It will all test the sorcerer's conviction. It is at this point that most disciples will begin to believe that they are better than their God, a mistake that will cast them down from his grace, and they will be demoted to mere pawns in the greater scheme of things. Arrogance is the most common downfall for these high-level sorcerers, for no amount of knowledge can allow a sorcerer to best Tzeentch. Lies and confusions are spoken softly into the ears of these sorcerers. Rituals and conjurings are spoiled by false information planted by the true god of deception long ago. The final horrible reality of being a sorcerer of Tzeentch is that his gifts and powers are only there to further his own plots, and in the end, the sorcerer's free will was just an illusion. And those were 40 facts on the horrible realities of the Sorcerers of Tzeentch. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to share it with your friends, Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media you guys use. It really helps out the channel when you do so, so please share. Now, when I was writing this lore, from the very beginning, I always thought that creating a horrible realities for Tzeentch was going to be difficult. But I started listening to the old lore videos that we created. I started listening to the lore videos that the Sound Alchemist put out for all the different demons. And then I started to realize being a follower of Tzeentch is really like being with someone who you know is going to betray you at some point. So you kind of have to get the best of him before he gets the best of you. But it's impossible because he's a god. So in other words, every single Sith Lord relationship, when there was the rule of two, if you're into the Star Wars story and history. So it's always like the apprentice and then the master, and then the apprentice always tries to kill the master, and the master always stops him until he doesn't, and then he dies, and then he becomes a master. So it's kind of that same thing, just never the last part, never actually defeating Tzeentch, because Tzeentch is everywhere and everything. Also, while creating this video, I kind of realized that Tzeentch, I think, is probably the most powerful god of them all. I really wish that GW would have created him last. In the lore, Slaanesh is supposed to be the last god that has been birthed, but I feel like Tzeentch is so advanced from all the other emotions, like the emotion of plotting and scheming and changing and all that kind of stuff. Just seems like an emotion or a sense of being that doesn't come into a biological thing until like later on, because rage, lust, and like just like whatever Nurgle is, sickness, they're all very primitive emotions, whereas Tzeentch is like very nuanced. So I think Tzeentch is probably my favorite chaos god as of creating this video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below. Let me know what other horrible realities you want to hear about. Let me know what you thought of all of my points. And also, if you have anything to add to the horrible realities of being a sorcerer of Tzeentch, please comment down below. I'm actually going to go and break down each individual psychic power that Tzeentch bestows on his followers and give you the positive and the negative, but that's going to be for a later video. Just because, like I said, I'm really digging the Tzeentch lore. It's pretty badass. Now let's get to the giveaway. Today's subscriber appreciation giveaway is the Thousand Sun Scarab Occult Terminators. So it comes with 5 awesome Terminators. I actually wanted to get the regular Marines. I just noticed right now that I actually got the Terminators and not the other ones, but who cares? If you guys want this awesome box set, all you have to do is, number 1, be a subscriber, because this is a subscriber appreciation giveaway. Number 2, share with your friends, Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media you guys use. Like this video and comment down below. We're going to pick the winners from the comment section below. I'll announce it next Friday. I think this is going up on Friday. And then also, yeah, make sure that your profile is set to public, because I am going to be checking to make sure that you're a subscriber and that you shared. And if you are, if your account is on private, then I won't be able to view that. So make sure that's on public. Don't spam down in the comment section below. I would say comment like 3 to 5 times. If you do more than that a day, YouTube is going to mark you as a spammer, and they're just going to like kick you out, and we can do nothing about that. So yeah, comment down below, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for participating. If you like our videos, we have a Patreon. It's a simple $1 a month, and it helps us create more videos for you guys, and it helps us do these giveaways. So if you want to support us on Patreon, jump on over there. The link is down in the description. And thanks for listening. I'll talk to you tomorrow. This was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate signing out.